Hi everyone, this is the Quantum Astrology Part 4, and my name is Ivar Kristoffersson. I'm from Sweden in north of Europe. I am a teacher in mathematics and physics as profession, and astrology has been a passion for me since 30 years, and especially since I found quantum astrology in February this year. So I want to introduce today the soul's journey in universes with quantum possibilities and time. How to know if you are a starseed. And so we're going cosmic, we're going out in space, and that's also to go within. As above, so below, and as within, so without. And it's a great honor for me to be here, and this is really my greatest passion. I'm very thankful for finding myself and for have this chance to reach more people. So Linda, if you can change to today's chart, for example. No, yeah, today's chart. Thank you very much. Here we have Sun, of course, you know, in Sagittarius. And we have the moon at Uranus, and you know, some quick recap: Saturn, Mercury at the galactic center here with Black Moon Lilith, the true Lilith close. Then we have Mars in opposition to Uranus with the dwarf planet Eris. We have North Node, and here is the dwarf planet Ceres, and the South Node in Aquarius, of course, and Pluto, and Jupiter in Scorpio. So as was remarked before this call on the chat, it's a lot going on. It's always a lot going on. But in my perception, it has been since 2012 a great awakening, and we are in the midst of an ascension, and that means it's a lot going on. So that's how we perceive that. That's the question. You see here, Sun 8 degrees 51 minutes in Sagittarius, the quantum knowledge, quantum truth, quantum wisdom of Sagittarius. It's in a conjunction to the fixed royal star Antares here. Antares is at 10 degrees exactly right now. The fixed stars are fixed in one way, but the Earth precession, the Earth axis going round, it will go something like that. A precession, it's 25,920 years, and it's if you divide by 360 degrees, then going around, you get 1 degree per 72 years. So the fixed stars move in, if you live 72 years, then your birth natal fixed star has moved 1 degree. So when you do this starseed, you need to take somewhat in attention this to really use the correct degree. Because we have to use the fixed stars so far away, and the energy is concentrated. So we need to have a very small orb, only 2 degrees for the luminaries, for the nodes, and for what's more with 2 degrees. And some important planet, you can take between 1 and 2 degrees for the others. And it has to be only conjunctions or oppositions. Conjunctions is natural, the blending of an energy. Opposition is a little less important, but still it's very important in STARSEED readings and in the stars connection with the transits right now, because you have the polarities, and therefore the opposition is very important. We don't ever, I say I and many of us who do, I think most other aspects, no, that will be too weak and mishmash. So only conjunctions and opposition. And the fixed star, royal fixed star, Antares, it's a fixed star that is from ancient times honored as one of the 4 fixed stars. You have Regulus, long time in Leo, now 0 degrees of Virgo. We have Antares here, 10 degrees of Gemini. We have Fomalhaut, not in this, but it's 4 degrees of Pisces. And then we have Aldebaran, the 10 degrees of Gemini. So we have 2 of the royal fixed stars in opposition. And now the sun is coming in here, the coming days. And also we're going to have a very interesting full moon, the 3rd of, in 3 days, 3rd of December. And the full moon will be at 11 degrees of Gemini, still in connection with the fixed star Aldebaran, and at 11 degrees of Sagittarius in connection with the fixed star Antares. And Antares, it's the heart of the Scorpion. So there we have the Scorpio season, where Jupiter is right now. So here's Jupiter right now in Scorpio. And that's about, as you know, going under the veil. All that is hidden is revealed, seen, coming up to the surface. So we have a big Scorpio season, and this STARSEED, all this is so much hidden in the common, normal society. It has been so much fear around. It has been organized campaigns since if you or you don't remember, but you're seeing those Mars invaders, etc., to hold people in lack of knowledge about the origins that some of us has from other star systems, from planets around other star systems. So this is also ascension here. And the big ascension, of course, is that the Earth is going into the age of Aquarius and going from a 3-dimensional world to the 5-dimensional of unconditional love. And we have South Node in Aquarius. That's our cosmic origin. That's our space origin. In quantum astrology, it's the quantum room everywhere. This universe, other universes, I will only, nearly only talk about this universe. And it's enough. It's so big. And this origin here, we now are applying as a collective in the Leo, the royal Leo expression, creativity, coming into the childlike existence on Earth when we are in the moment and when we do things of joy and happiness instead of these old illusions in the Pisces, Virgo, age of Pisces, with all illusions and all negativity and all that has been placed upon us, because we all persons has a cosmic flame inside. Not all at all are starseeds. We have a lot of earthlings here on Earth, having done many incarnations on Earth, but I don't know percentages, but still millions are starseeds. And many crystal kids are from other star systems. And we are here to ascend and to help the Earth in the ascension and to rise the vibrations for this period. We can go back to this Sun at Antares. Antares is also a fixed star that symbolizes the heart of the Scorpio. That's dark, that's water, that's feelings, that's anger. You have Mars and Pluto, that's sexuality. Mars and Pluto rules Scorpio, and Jupiter is the ruler here in Sagittarius. So we have a mutual thing going on, and this is then in opposition to Aldebaran, which is the royal fixed star about illumination, about visions, about taking down heaven to earth, the Gemini alchemy, to transform, transmute dark to light, hate to love. So we have this axis opposition here between these two very important royal fixed stars to integrate, to find the 0 point, to really free ourselves. And that's what we are doing right now and have been doing now for the last years, to free ourselves from stored anger, from stored density. And we, in this situation, we also have Mars in direct opposition to Uranus. It's only less than 1 degree. And Mars is at the fixed star Spica and also the fixed star Arcturus. I will come back to that. And the Mars Uranus, that's explosive, isn't it? And it's coming up to me this about anger. We also have the dwarf planet Eris, the discord, the dark female energy that is discord, that is cutting through like Pluto and like Lilith, cutting through the patriarchy. So this is a revelation of our true nature, our true feelings, and we are going through a lot because it has been at least 6,000 years, in my perception, much longer time with the rulership over Earth, and the last 6,000 years with a dark period of patriarchy. So we need to find the balance, divine feminine, divine masculine in us, and we need to find the freedom of our emotions. So we let our emotions flow in, and not taking the anger out on others, not going into conflicts with others, not react but response. And also taking out the anger with the pillow or a mirror or something like that. And free ourselves from this. And that's the heart of Scorpio, that's the royal fixed star Antares. And if we then check cosmically, it's this Antares, it's an entry point, a royal stargate for Andromedans, for Iridian souls from the Andromeda galaxy. It's also said, I don't know, but it's a possibility here now to incarnate with a memory. We all have come here and we have been more or less in the karma cycle. So we have forgotten our origin from Earth or from other star systems. And this is all about coming, as you know, remembering, feeling, cells, body, heart, brain, heart, to remember who we are and why we are here. We have Uranus here. It has been with the Andromeda galaxy. What happens now? Oh, sorry. Is it working now? Sorry. Yeah, Uranus in Aries. That's Uranus is the quantum room planet, the source field everywhere, with all that possibilities, and it's the ruler over Aquarius. And Aries is the quantum I am, the creation, the first seed, and also that Uranus here is that we create our own reality. And that means that it's 7.2 billion realities here on Earth. That's huge, just that. And this reality is coming to us with our birth and with all the process from family and society. And this is symbolized by Saturn and Capricorn. And Saturn is at galactic center right now with Mercury. And it's a two-dimensional script that gives us a hologram. So our reality is just a movie in some way, made by our quantum computer and the brain and the heart together and the body, the cells. Our quantum computer makes up our own individual reality in our three-dimensional world here on Earth, as Earth has been stuck now for a long time in a negative three-dimensional world. So this ascension, it's about coming into the fifth-dimensional world of love, and that's to leave the polarities, to leave the negative, to accept, transcend, transmute everything, like the avatars, like Jesus, etc., have been doing. And we are now, as a collective Earth, and we here are doing this work right now. And in the fifth dimension, there's no time. Time, it's Chronos, it's Saturn, and in the fifth dimension and higher dimensions, there is no time. You have heard the spiritual leaders talking about the past, present, future, it's now. And that's to apply for us. So the linear time scale I will be talking a lot about in this, it's the three-dimensional line that we have. And it's a difficulty here to transform this inside this three-dimensional world to a timeless, beingless, and being in the moment, like a child. A child is totally in the moment when birth and during many years, up to 6-7 years of age. So it's also promising this, because this means that we can change from within, because it's a mirror, everything, and it's vibrating, it's vibrations. So all we see is energy, matter is energy, and perhaps it's not that real. Perhaps the source, the dreams are much realer. That's a big topic. I will leave that. But the star seeds, we are here on Earth to help the Earth in this process, because we have a great knowledge hidden within. And I myself has my son at Aldebaran, and I'm a royal starseed from Aldebaran, and this is perfect for me, and this is why I have this passion right now in this moment to share this, to see if this is landing in your heart, and then you can check up your origin, because it's a high possibility when you watch this video that you are a starseed. And I will go into what we use as evidence for the starseed origin in a while. We can see also that this day now, right now, and also the full moon, up to the full moon, it's so much activation here of the fixed stars. We have this Antares Aldebaran here, this axis. Then we have Venus at the end of Scorpio, soon going into Sagittarius. So Venus is here in conjunction with Alpha Centauris, fixed star talisman, and also with Apollonians, two different races. And there are so many races in this universe. It's totally amazing to reveal all this. So here it's Alpha Centauris and Apollonians, and then in opposition here, in the end of Taurus, that's Pleiades, one of the most well-known starseed origins, and the fixed star Alcarin at 0 degrees of Gemini. We have, of course, Saturn and Mercury at the galactic center. The galactic center is no star origin in one way, because that's a gigantic black hole in the center of the Milky Way. But in opposition here, we have both Betelgeuse in the Orion constellation, and we have Polaris in the Ursa Minor constellation. The Polaris, the pole star, and Betelgeuse, the red giant. And Betelgeuse is known to be the home of the Light Council, because we have a band of very important fixed stars from the end of Taurus to the end of Gemini, and then to the fixed star Sirius here. We have the fixed star Sirius not in opposition to Pluto, because it's too large orb, but still the fixed star Vega here in Lyra constellation is in conjunction with Pluto. Pluto is soon leaving that one. But Pluto is coming up to soon to 20 degrees. And I will look more at that magic 20 degrees of Capricorn in a while. Today we also then have Mars at Spica and Arcturus. Spica is about nature. Those who are star origins from here has a lot of serenity, and really we need to be more in nature. And Arcturus, it's a very important also fixed star, giving us the starseeds from here has a great knowledge of electromagnetic healing. And Arcturus is a place our soul enters this earth, three-dimensional world, by first coming to Arcturus and then coming here to Earth. And when we leave Earth, we go the same way. We go to the fourth the fourth dimension. And if we are in a lot of fear, we're coming back to Earth directly. But if we manage to, if we just relax and be ourselves and be in our love, and say an intention, you can say an intention for you, set an intention for yourself in a ceremony of others. When I die, I want to see my dear ones, my relatives. But if they are stuck in fear, their souls, then I go to the soul love recreation in Arcturus. So every soul passes both here to Earth and back in Arcturus. And they are 5-dimensional beings and higher, and they are assisting this world and has not been involved in the DNA manipulation of this world either. They have a very skilled spacecraft that protect us also. We have more. We have the connection here. Neptunus is also in connection with the fixed star, but I don't take everyone. Today we have this. I want to just comment this. The galactic center, Saturn and Mercury, because Mercury will, as you know, go retrograde on the full moon, the 3rd of December soon. It will come up to 29 something degrees and then go back over Saturn again. So we have 2 weeks in very tight connection with Mercury and Saturn. And Mercury is the quantum communication, it's our mind, it's our thoughts, it's the Mercury Hermes thought consciousness. And Saturn then is the quantum reality, it's the rule of Capricorn, it's testing the 3-dimensional reality we have. So this is a very strong energy right now. You see, it's in connection with this Mars, Uranus, and Moon, Mars, Uranus, Moon opposition here. It's a trine and it's a sextile, and it's also important square to Chiron, the wounded healer. So we have been doing a lot of healing of our spiritual wound, the Chiron in the quantum spirit of Pisces. A lot of that one. And we still are, to leave the old illusions of Pisces and to see clearly with Mercury, and to be able to handle our emotions with Mars and Uranus and Moon here. To land in our integrity, the quantum integrity of Saturn, to use Saturn creatively here in the Sagittarius, the knowledge, wisdom coming from galactic center. This is a rewriting of the script of the Earth again. It's the last time now Saturn goes over this, and soon Saturn, the 19th of December, Saturn will go into Capricorn, and then things will manifest in a magical way. So this is a preparation for the big manifestation coming up in Capricorn here. The coming years will be so important for the Earth, to take the knowledge of the Sagittarius into our reality. And it's like we have had this, as you know, the Libra season then about relationships, and then the Scorpio season deepens that one. And now the Sagittarius of knowledge will be deepened in our 3-dimensional world, because we need so desperately as beings on this earth to be here in love on this 3-dimensional world. So, and in my interpretation of Mercury here, it's also a lot to silence the mind, to relax. We have a lot of thoughts, a lot of worries triggered by our emotions, our stored emotions. I have, we all have. To silence the mind in the most rewarding, best way you can, in your way, to meditate or do something funny, to do something childlike, to always be in gratitude, to train yourself. Not only think positively, but vibrate. Because we have a possibility to come out of this fear state that the mind and the Mercury has been in. and to be able to create with our being. And it's not only the thoughts, we have to get all our cells and vibration with us, really, to free ourselves and not give up for anything, just see it as a growth, as something good. That's the grace, that's the gratitude, and that's so hard, that's so difficult. And in my world, I've taken away for several years all TV, all manipulation going on when I watch news or movies or anything like that. I'm gone into the inner world of meditation, and also using the internet with my intuition to find, via astrology, to find what I believe in. And beliefs, that's Sagittarius. And the beliefs are making up our individual world. So with this conjunction here, Mercury, Saturn, it's a great time to silence the mind, and then to trust that when we are in that state, we can create from the South Node to the North Node in Leo, to use the power of the source, the Neptune in Pisces here. And a last one about the full moon. We will have the full moon at 11 degrees of Sagittarius. There are the sun and the moon 11 degrees of Gemini, in connection with the fixed star Aldebaran. And we also have Neptune in 11 degrees of Pisces, and we have Jupiter at 11 degrees of Scorpio. So it's a big activation of 11 degrees, and that's the quantum number of mastery. It's a master leader. It's a master number in numerology. I also started quantum numerology. And it's the most intuitive, charismatic, and magical, psychic number. So here's the possibility to find the Scorpio magic and the alchemy to rebirth ourselves, with to trust and remind our origins and our originality, our uniqueness. So Linda, can you please change to the next slide? What's the time, Linda?
You have about 20 minutes left.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you. So here's my natal chart and the progressions for me. And it's a lot of information. I will go through it. This is how I and some others assess STARSEED origins. And I take myself as an example. And then only 1 or maximum 2 degrees off, and sun at Aldebaran, here the royal fixed star Aldebaran, moon at Pleiades, my natal moon, at the fixed star Alcoin. And then we can take here, I have 1 degrees of, I have MC at 0 degrees of Cancer, and you see I have all my cusp at 0.00 degrees, ascendant at 0.0 degrees in Libra. And that means that I have a lot of 0 point energy with me to balance out and to find and to transmute. And it has been a great challenge for me to have this flip-flopped, since I have my first house in the 7th house sign of Libra, of course, and my 7th house at the 1st house of Aries. So it's all about the polarities, and it has learned me so much. And if we see the STARSEED, just these two, the luminaries, are of course extremely important for the STARSEED origin. but we also need to check more. And ascendant and MC is two other important energy points. And I have my ascendant and Sirius, the dwarf planet Sirius, the Mother Earth, the Demeter, the fertility. It's at the supergalactic center here. Supergalactic center, it's a massive black hole, much more energy giving than the black hole in our Milky Way, but also much far away. The supergalactic center is one of these starseed markers as the galactic center here. And I have the galactic center in opposition to my MC, and here is the Betelgeuse also, and I have my Jupiter, Mercury, and MC in conjunction here at Betelgeuse in opposition to the galactic center in some way. We also look at the nodes. They are very important. This point now, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, MC, and the nodes are the most important, where you start to check if you are a starseed or not. And when I do readings, starseed readings. So I have my south node at the fixed star Sirius in the middle of Cancer, and my north node at the fixed star Vega in the Lyra constellation. Okay, that's already. So I'm absolutely a starseed with all these markings. But then we also check the other planets. We know so far. I have Neptune at Spica and Arcturus. I have Saturn here at the Bootes constellation. It's a fixed star here. It's not fixed star everywhere at all. But I managed to be with all these energies. Mars and Venus is also at different fixed stars. And I just picked up Aries and Sirius, because Aries is a skip step in my birth chart. Thank you, Linda, for showing 7 degrees applying. And this is at Pegasus, a fixed star in Pegasus. And then we even more have some of the asteroids that these, our planets. I have Pluto, of course, here also. These are planets or dwarf planets. I started to use the dwarf planet, but it has to be only the planets and perhaps the dwarf planets, as Pluto is now is one. Only those gives the origin connection to the fixed stars. But we have markers to see if it's really a starseed origin. And I have those markers to the right here. Linda has helped me. And there are some more also, but it wasn't place for more. I have so many connections. Pallas is in connection with the fixed star Regulus here, and my progressed MC is there. Angel, it's in connection here with the moon and the Pleiades. Aura is in a connection with my sun, rather wide off, but it's still there. Kali is here at 20 degrees of Capricorn, and that's a magical degree. That's the transit in Pluto now is coming up to, because this 20 degrees of Capricorn is our origin here as human in this whole universe. There are older universe otherwhere, and the feline race is coming from other universes here. But in this universe, it's all started some 4 billion years ago here at the M57. That's now has been a supernova. It's gone through a billion of years of process with planets and then becoming a supernova, exploded. So these that started here has spread out. So this is the origin of the humans, different races in this universe, 20 degree of Capricorn. And Capricorn symbolism, it's climbing to new heights, but it's also the higher octave of Capricorn is the unicorn, to transmute the alchemy. So that's magic. And this 20 degrees of Capricorn, it's also in evolutionary astrology, it's the polarity south node of Pluto, our soul origin. So this correlates totally. These two information coming from different sources. The evolutionary astrology, Pluto polarity point south node. Sorry, not polarity point, Pluto's south node is 20 degrees of Capricorn, and the north node then is 20 degrees of Cancer, where we have several fixed stars. And I have my Uranus here, the quantum room, and Uranus is the ruler over the fixed stars, over the star seeds. It's the ruler over Aquarius and also over the fixed stars. The enlightenment, the shocking planet, Uranus. So I put in also here karma, an asteroid, just as a marker to check where is karma. And it's here in Gemini, in this Star of Life band. Spirit is another one marker, and Spirit is exactly at Sirius, the fixed star Sirius here. Hermes is here at the vertex. Hermes, that's of course Mercury, Thoth. And here we have the grays, the gray star race. I also put in the Sphinx, and the Sphinx, it's at my Sun, at fixed star Royals, fixed star Aldebaran, and Gaia, that's the wife of Uranus. We shouldn't forget the divine feminine. And Gaia is here with Uranus together in a close conjunction here in Cancer. And Cancer is what our world is going through, because the south node of Pluto has a north node here, 20 degrees of Cancer. And Saturn has a south node, the planetary south node, at 23 degrees of Capricorn, and a north node at 23 degrees of Cancer. So it's a huge transformation going from the patriarchy to get the balance to nurturing and open up this emotional Cancer with our life here, three-dimensional life, to be able to go into this unconditional love of Leo. And then Logos, the divine source, is at my MC here, and Aries I just put in to show the skip step, the power of the skip step here. And it's also at Pegasus. So that's the markers, and then you see I had to integrate this. It was an awakening for me when the sun was at first the moon, and then the sun was at Pleiades. And it has been many people on Earth that has been, not many perhaps, but some has channeled this down for years, since Asperger and Marciniak with the Pleiades, since the 80s, since last time Saturn was at Galactic Center. But for me it was a magic opening, a really big transformation of my life. It's taken me half a year to integrate this, and now we are in this situation with the sun at the fixed star Antares in opposition to my Aldebaran. And it's so fantastic. It's amazing to be able to remember more and more about this. And I'm totally in for this. I give STARSEED readings, and I have a sale before Christmas if you're interested. I have some big problems in my life with my relationships, love relationships, and with my Saturn in the second house. I'm not, as a starseed, I'm interested in the vibrational, the evolution, the growth. I'm not interested in money in this world. It's really a problem for me, really a massive problem. I need to really fight with myself, not fight, but integrate and relax and really do the things I need to do to be here or not in these three-dimensional books, because I'm so easily flying in the higher spheres. So, Linda, what's the time?
So, Ivar, we have 10 minutes left.
Yeah, we can start with a question, and I can come into a little more information. If we start with, if anyone has a question, I don't know.
Yes, we have a question from Mary, and I'll read it to you. Mary says, would you be interested in expressing your opinion as to whether you feel the astrology that we use can only be applicable from our 3D existence on this planet?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, I believe that. But it's so powerful. It's so, this year, it's the quantum astrology and the evolutionary astrology I studied a lot this year, giving me so much. So it's so powerful in details, and when you start to, the planets and the energies are living for me, as I hope I can show. They're really living in me, as I believe they did for the ancient cultures also. And that they do in you that are a true astrologer. To use it every day, every minute in the whole of my being. So it's very powerful. And it's said to be created by thought. That's right, that is... like the pyramids you see here. The pyramids also is created by Thoth and Osiris and Isis after the destruction of the fall of Atlantis some 13,000 years ago. And the possibility is that this is a creation by the thinking, by the thought, but by some souls that are really so evolved so they could create from stone from matter. And now stone create matter from source. And it's so, but then it's a lot hidden here also, the knowledge about Anunnakis and in some way Enki, the son of Anu, the Emperor Anu, the Enki, the earth has been hijacked for 500,000 years by the Anunnakis. That's a long story that we now are freeing ourselves from and integrating the Anunnakis in the love consciousness. This is the cosmic plan coming up right now in this magic moment. But Enki, the son of Anu, perhaps is taught. And Enki is the good one of Anus, and he lies behind the hidden keys in our DNA also, so we can come out of this two-strand manipulation. We have two DNA helix. Now we are awakening to a 12-strand DNA, also connection with our 12 chakras here in the body. But the earth has been seeded some 1 million years ago by the Pleiades, by the Elohims from Aldebaran, where I have my origin in this universe. And the earth was seeded long before the Anunnakis. But then we have this dark period of Anus, and it's a lot of information hidden here, and a lot can be seen by astrology. But to come back to the question, the fifth dimensional, we don't have time, we don't have linear scales. It's a totally different situation, so you can't apply astrology. It's in my perception, it's about information fields, and it's about love. And the trick that you can, when you are with past, present, and future in the moment, you can time travel because you have no time. But the problem is to find the coordinate for the Earth, for example, to really come here at our three-dimensional moment. You want to come here in. That's not easy. So I believe it's only for our three-dimensional world, yes.
Thanks for that. Any other questions?
Hi, Ivar. I had a quick question. I'm wondering, the asteroids that you listed there, are those the asteroids that we look for in our chart to maybe sort of see are we star seeds, and those being in connection with personal planets?
Yes, and I can explain that much more. First, you check the sun and moon and the ascendant MC and the nodes. You see if they are in connection with conjunction or opposition to a fixed star. And the most important fixed star are the four royal fixed stars, and also this supergalactic center at 1 degree of Libra, the great attractor at 14 degrees of Sagittarius, and the galactic center at 26, 27 degrees of Sagittarius. Those and the Behenian stars, the old, it's 15 of them, and then the Algol, the Pleiades, the Alcoin, and Sirius, Vega, Arcturus, Spica, they are Behenian stars. You look first at those. But then you also have these asteroids that I show. They only mark us because in my case it's so clear really from the beginning, but that's not the situation for many of the souls, because there need to be a strong connection with these main natal birth charts energies I mentioned, and those most important fixed stars to assess. And then you check with the markers only if it's really true that this is a star seed, or if you are somewhat uncertain, can you get these to be also at fixed stars in connection with the planets in the birth chart. So that's the way to use the asteroids, and it's a little longer list of asteroids that we use, DNA, intercosmos, etc. You can go through the list and see with your intuition also from the asteroid which one is the far away or the cosmic connections. But there is information I can give also that gives that. You also have this even more specific, that if you have a south node in connection with an important fixed stars, and you have SI, supergalactic center, and galactic center activated, and a royal fixed star activated, as I have Aldebaran and Antares, then you are an ascended master from that planet. So I am an ascended master from Sirius. So, and we all have that possibility, even the Earthlings. Just that some of us has more with us, has more evolution, has more, without any judging, has more knowledge to remind. So I have a lot of knowledge to remind, as this shows me that I'm an ascended master from the water, or from a water emotional planet in Sirius. And I'm also that royal Elohim from Aldebaran. So it has been a lot of integration for me to believe in this, to integrate, and to come to this point that now it's so joyful to be talking and sharing this with you. And I hope a lot of you check, and also it's hard for me with the money, but take your starseed reading. And I'm very cheap. It's so big, it's so much work to do, but check it up in your way or with help. Thank you for the question.
Okay, Ivar, thank you so much. That brings us to the end of your meeting. And I will encourage people to seek you out for a starseed reading. It sounds absolutely fascinating. And so
it's life changing. In my way to say it, it's totally among the 2-3 best in my life ever. I promise you, it's so rewarding. Thank you.
Sounds great. Thank you so much. And thank you from all of us. And we'll see you next time, Ivar. Thank you.
Yeah. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thanks, Ivar.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Be well.